Okay, so I searched the internet for information on these Buck stoves. This is the Buck Stove 27,000. It's known as the regular Buck. Searched the internet, I couldn't find anything, so I figured I may as well make something to help you guys out. I picked this Buck stove up about 2 years ago. Paid 75 bucks for it. It was rusted out. I sanded the whole thing down, painted it with the heat paint. I put the glass doors in the front here, the glass inserts. You can get them metal, but I prefer the window so I can see the flame. I put new fire brick in there. I put new gaskets in there. So the thermostat never worked the way it should, and it's kind of just riding it out. Then a couple weeks ago, the motor went on it, so I figured now's the time to fix it. I called servicesales.com. Guy Jeff there couldn't be more helpful. Walked me right through the whole process. I told him I want to rebuild the whole thing. You want a new stove? You're going to pay $3,500 easy. So for a couple hundred, I'm going to rebuild this whole thing, and I'll have a fresh stove for the next 15 years. So I started with a new 3-speed motor. This was about $189. Wasn't sure if I needed a new fan blade, but I figured I would get it just so that I have it. If I'm going to pull the stove out, as you know, they're heavy. I figured I would just get the new fan blade. I wanted everything new internally so I don't have to play games. I got the motor housing gasket. I got a 3-speed thermostat. I got the rubber grommet that goes on the fan blade to eliminate noises. I got a new switch because it burned out and I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to be looking at once I opened this thing up. I got a new wiring harness. I think this was $59. I got new gaskets. I don't really need them, but I figured I would get them. So this is the gasket for the door. And then this is an ash bar gasket. This ash bar gasket goes on the bottom of the stove. Okay, and then I had to get the silicone rubber adhesive. So all said and done, this came out to be, I believe, $469 worth of parts. And so I'll have about $600 into this, and this will heat my whole house, about 1,500 square feet. So I'm gonna pull this out and get to work on it, and we'll check back soon. Okay, so as expected, the wiring is a little bit old. Here's the switch right here. Here's the power cord going in. On the back side, you remove this cover off the back. And this is your thermostat here. Must have fell apart inside. That sits right down in here. Bolt slides right in there and it hangs on the inside here. And then the fan goes in here. So I have the wiring harness. I'm going to go through these wires and figure out what it is I have to do and start piecing this all back together. The wiring harness I did find online relatively easy. So I just laid it out over here and shouldn't be a problem. We'll check back. So here's my Buck 27,000 up and running. It's got the blower on, if you can hear that. Here's the 3-speed switch. Switch that down, put it on high. That's kicking out a lot of heat now. Comes out here, get over here. So I'll put it back on low. On low, it works off the thermostat. On high, it works manually. Over here is my thermostat, the new thermostat. I screwed it in with self-tapping screws, 2 self-tapping screws, and that was it. All in all, I think the job was fairly easy. Took me about 3 hours to do, taking my time. The hardest part was pulling the stove out and getting it back in, because I had to level it. You see it's sitting on stone and the fire brick. Inside, the existing fireplace was a little uneven, so I have it sitting up on metal shims to even it all out. Also, the original housing doesn't work with what I have going on here, so I made my own out of angle irons and I painted those black. Little customization. Also, the stove itself, I would have liked to sit out further on the fireplace, but I have to sit it all the way in the back to get it up through the chimney, so it sits back a little further than I would like. That's why I have angle iron, so I have these returns here going in. So we should be up and good to go for the winter.